So there I was, looking at the 19 alternate ascendancies releasing with the Legacy of Frisia event coming February 20th for Path of Exile 1. Scrolling down to my favorite class, the Marauder, what do I see? The Behemoth Ascendancy. I click the show button, excited out of my mind, and then I read, the Behemoth abhors magic and the users of it. I'm like, heck yeah, this is me. This is for me. Attacks, yes. Spells, cringe. I click the Ascendancy nodes. What am I reading? The very first node, Rampager, that literally every single Behemoth has to take. All the other nodes are contingent on the Rampager. You get, your spell skills deal no damage. Okay, that's fine. All right, not a big deal. Your spells are disabled. But then you get melee hits count as rampage kills and rampage. Rampage is a mechanic that gives you 1% increased movement speed per 20 rampage stacks. Okay, but you also get a 2% increased damage per 20 rampage stacks. Total stacks 1,000. So after you hit a single enemy 1,000 times with the Behemoth, you get 50% movement speed and 100% increased damage. But that's okay because you also get a bunch of other stuff. Look at this. You get like a large area effect, detonated dead. You get detonated dead. Animated bows, dude. Animated bows. I love minions. I love minions on my attack-based build, which abhors spells for some reason. But what do we also get? Tireless Frenzy, plus 10 max fortification. Fortify is very good. Attack speed per fortification as well. That's already 30% increased attack speed. All right, it's like... You also get a way to generate Fortify as well as 0.2% life regen. So that's a 6% life regen. It's like, Then I look at Sheer Fury. 15% chance if you gain rage on hit, you instead get up to your maximum rage. I'm thinking, dude, that's the Admiral's Arrogance gloves, but in an Ascendancy node. That's pretty crazy. Essentially, it just means you get a 15% chance rolled twice per second, because gaining rage is capped at every 0.5 seconds, to just sustain infinite rage. That's crazy. So what do? I boot up Path of Building, my favorite program ever. I choose a Marauder as my class, and I go in, and I'm thinking, okay, we're going dual strike of ambidexterity as our main skill because it attacks super fast, and we're at 9 attacks per second. So we're gonna be stacking Rampage like crazy. Then we're also gonna be able to use Rage Vortex. Why? Because of Sheer Fury. We just sustain permanent rage all the time. So Rage Vortex simply equals a more overall single target damage. Here's the passive tree. We'll look at our items. We're using Gruthkull's Pelt because why the heck not? Our versed Ascendancy node literally just gives you the downside of Gruthkull, so you might as well use Gruthkulls, you know what I'm saying? 10% life regen per second, flat life, 100% global damage. Okay, it's like something, but then you look at the gloves, the Celestial Brace, because like your elemental resistances, the higher the damage reduction you have from a singular source, the more effective it becomes. So I'm thinking, okay, of course we're gonna go Celestial Brace, just more fortification, even more attack speed, let's go. And then of course, because we're a rage-centric build, we're gonna be using Bear's Girdle, right? Why the heck not? Speaking of rage, we're gonna steal Crave the Slaughter from the Berserker Ascendancy to get 1% increased attack speed per rage. Why not Aspect of Carnage? Because I don't want to debuff myself with 10% damage taken, and I don't want to debuff myself with Rite of Ruin, plus the rage effect isn't actually that good. The attack speed is actually much more beneficial because again, we're trying to stack Rampage as high as possible. Remember, 1,000 hits on the same enemy. All in all, this is what we're cooking right now. The rest of the gear is just standard stuff. There's a link to this Path of Building in the description below if you want to check it out. No flask or enabled or anything. And don't worry about Molten Shell or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? And currently we're sitting at, just under 5 million DPS, 13.8 Fizz max hit. That's actually kind of respectable. And then of course, a metric booty butt ton of recovery with the life regen from the Gruthkulls plus the fortification from the Ascendancy. But then it hit me. What if I just don't go the Behemoth? What does that look like? Here's what that looks like. We're not using Gruthkulls anymore. We're using just a regular body armor because why wouldn't you? And instead of Celestial Brace, we have to use Admiral's Arrogance to sustain Rage Vortex because this gives us the same chance to get maximum rage on hit line. Without that, Rage Vortex would basically never be up. Then for Forbidden Flesh and Flame, we're simply stealing the Juggernaut Unflinching just for permanent endurance charges, get a little extra tankiness. And also we're slotting in a Watcher's Eye because, surprise, we can now use spells. Which looks like this. These are all the spells that you would run in a build like this. Berserk is going to be perma uptime, again, given the Admiral's Arrogance. Pride, Blood and Sand, Blood, Rage, Herald, Purity, Vulnerability. Might make some tweaks here and there, but these are more or less the aura stack that you're going to be using. If I disable this, we go down quite a bit of damage. That's how important spells are in Path of Exile 1. You'll see that in this build, which is an unascended Marauder, that's right, I haven't even chosen my Ascendancy class yet. We are sitting at basically the same exact damage and the same exact tankiness as the Behemoth. Like, you can't make that up. Everything else about this build is exactly the same. The body armor was swapped, the gloves were swapped, and we swapped which node we were stealing Forbidden Flesh Flame, and we added in a Watcher's Eye. Everything else is exactly the same. And we are basically just as strong. So now you might be asking, what happens when you choose your Ascendancy class? Let's do that real quick. Let's click the Berserker. Here we go. We're going to take damage, 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 and then Defiance, because we can't go anything else. I guess we could go Warbringer for cringe, but I'm not cringe. Oh, that's a little bit higher for basically, again, the same amount of survivability. Yes, we have less life regen, but the leech is going to more than make up for that, don't you worry. So for basically the exact same survivability, we get just a triple damage. Yep. And again, this is all thanks to, of course, our spells. If we disable them, you can see that our damage goes down quite a bit. Hey, I mean, am I surprised? No, absolutely not. Name a more iconic duo than GGG and hating melee for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Hopefully, guys, they just come in here on this Rampager node and they simply remove your spells are disabled. Spell skills deal no damage. Cool. Fits the theme of the class, but you can actually play around it and it's not a terrible downside. So just remove this line right here or giga buff every single node in this ascendancy. Again, I want to make it clear that you have to take this node Rampager as the Behemoth class. It literally is here's the starting point, here's Rampager. You literally have to take it on every single Behemoth, period. And it's such a gargantuan downside, as you just saw, that it is just atrocious. I get that this is a meme event, but come on, there really is no reason as to why this is so incredibly bad. So please, GGG, please guys, just giga buff the node. Add a line that says like Rampage has 100% increased effect and then like buff all these other nodes as well. If you're going to keep your spells are disabled, like just, you got to do something. Come on, guys. But as I said, I guess we'll just have to find out how powerful these Rampage effects are when you're proccing them on hit on a boss. Maybe it's stupidly powerful. Who knows? Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Check out my stream at twitch.tv/WoolieGaming, and I'll check you out. I will not check you out, and I'll catch you in the next video.